Right now, your brain is lying to you. I want you to try something. Finish this sentence out loud. To be or not to be, that is the... You just did that in under a second, without thinking, without trying. Now tell me the last thing you read online today. Struggling? Your brain remembered Shakespeare from decades ago, but forgot a news article from this morning. That's not a memory problem. That's your brain doing something brilliant. And today, I'm going to show you exactly what it is. Because once you understand it, you'll never consume information the same way again. In 1885, a German psychologist named Hermann Ebbinghaus did something no scientist had done before. He used himself as the experiment. He memorized thousands of meaningless syllables, things like dax, bup, zol, then tested himself over days, weeks, months. What he found terrified him. Within 24 hours of learning something new, the average person forgets 70% of it. Within a week, over 90% gone. He called it the forgetting curve, and it explains something you've probably felt but never named. That hollow feeling after spending 2 hours reading articles, watching videos, scrolling through threads, and feeling like you have absolutely nothing to show for it. That's not laziness, that's not stupidity, that's Ebbinghaus's curve, playing out in real time, in your brain, right now. But here's what Ebbinghaus also discovered, and what almost nobody talks about. The curve can be defeated, but not by consuming more, by consuming less. Let me paint a picture of a day you've definitely had. You wake up. Before your feet hit the floor, you're already checking your phone. News, Twitter, Reddit, YouTube, a podcast in the shower, a newsletter at breakfast. By 9 a.m., you've consumed more information than a medieval scholar encountered in a year. And you feel exhausted, foggy, like you've done something, but nothing at all. Neuroscientists have a name for this: cognitive load overload. Your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for decision-making, creativity, and deep thought, has a strict bandwidth limit. When you flood it with information, it doesn't get smarter, it gets slower. Researchers at the University of California found that it takes an average of 23 minutes to regain full focus after an interruption. But here's the part that should stop you cold. Most of us are interrupting ourselves every 45 seconds. Let that sit. We are not information starved, we are information poisoned. And the antidote isn't a better productivity app, it's a concept called intellectual minimalism. Intellectual minimalism is not about being ignorant. It's not about going off-grid or deleting your apps. It's about one radical idea: depth over volume, always. It's choosing to fully absorb 10 ideas rather than skim 10,000. So how do you actually do this? How do you rewire yourself in a world built to keep you scrolling? I'm going to give you 3 weapons, not tips, weapons. Things you can use starting today. Weapon 1, the input fast. Once a week, pick one morning. No podcasts, no articles, no news, no social media. Just you and your own thoughts for 2 hours. I know what you're thinking. That sounds boring. And you're right. For the first 15 minutes, it is. But what happens next is something neuroscientists call the default mode network activation. This is the brain state where your greatest creative insights, your best problem solving, your deepest connections between ideas actually happen. Your best ideas don't come from consuming content, they come from the silence after you stop. Einstein took long walks with no destination. Newton sat under a tree. Darwin had a thinking path he walked every single day with nothing but his own mind. They weren't waiting for inspiration, they were creating the conditions for it. Weapon 2, the one source rule. Instead of consuming 15 articles on a topic, find one book, one expert, one deep source, Then go all the way in. The research on expertise is unambiguous. Mastery comes from depth, not breadth. The people you admire most, the ones who seem to have genuine insight, not just opinions, they are almost never the most well-read in terms of volume. They are the most well-absorbed. They don't know a little about everything. They know everything about a few things. And that changes how they think about everything else. Weapon 3, the 24-hour rule. Before you share, repeat, or act on any piece of information, wait 24 hours. This is not about being slow, it's about being accurate. Our brains are pattern-matching machines. When we read something that confirms what we already believe, we feel a neurological reward, a small hit of dopamine. That feeling is not truth. That feeling is comfort. The 24-hour rule creates a gap between stimulus and response. It's in that gap that real thinking happens. Naval Ravikant said it best. Read what you love until you love to read, then read deeply. The goal isn't to consume less for its own sake. The goal is to finally, actually, think. Here's the quiet truth that took me a long time to accept. You are not what you consume. You are what you understand. The most dangerous thing about the information age isn't that we have too much access. It's that we've confused access with understanding. We've confused exposure with knowledge. We've confused being informed with being wise. This week, try one of the 3 weapons, just one. The input fast, the one source rule, the 24-hour rule. And notice what happens to your thinking. Not your knowledge, your thinking. If you felt something shift in this video, something click, there are more patterns waiting for you here on Quiet Patterns. Subscribe, stay quiet, think deeper.